professionals here.
Well,
Yes.
I'm already with this, so I'm going to put my dishes away while you repeat.
No problem. Welcome
As I
back,
said.
everyone. This is take 2 of my intro. Now actually hitting the recording button. So, as you can see, we have a brand new look. We have some new sponsors here. So, if you do enjoy, well, not really sponsors, but just a shout out to the people allowing me to use their music. So, if you do like it, please check out Michael Gelfrey, Sodco Soundscapes, or Unwind Station on YouTube. They have wide selections of ambient or musical notes you can add to your things. And welcome to the final episode of the Freeman mini-series. We're joined by the same cast, new look, but that's about it. Everything else is still the same as it was under the hood.
New look, same idiots.
Who dis? Still me.
New look, same mess in the background.
Same mess in the background. So that being said, why don't we get back into who we are, what we're doing here, and then we'll get into the recap from there. Why don't we start with Sealaday, as you're the closest to me on screen.
Hi, I'm Bling Searliday. I'm a let's be entirely honest, I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass and I have weaponized it.
Yes, he's a weaponized dumbass with semi-pointy ears, correct?
Yes, half elf.
Half elf. Alright, after that we have
I am a Bioforged Monk 5, Cleric 1, and I am a 2-year-old walking around with a crossbow and a lot more knowledge of machines than you would want me to have.
And you're a 2-year-old with a crossbow. You don't give infants weapons.
2-year-old being alive in this body. And they have past experiences. They're a little wiser than a 2-year-old, but on par with intelligence, though? Maybe? We'll find out.
You're telling me.
And then lastly, we have Fizzlewitz. You can tell us about him.
Hey, I'm Fizzlewitz. Nope, it's not a gnome. Halfling this time. Sorry, recurring character. Fizzlewitz Bellbottom, the halfling artificer. He's really just trying to learn about the Freeman and attempting to be a professional, but that's being made a little bit hard sometimes.
There's a couple of forces at play outside of your influences there.
And some inside my influence, honestly.
So where were we last session, DM?
Well, last time that we played, you guys finished up this ambush that involved all sorts of strange techniques and whatnot, and somehow it worked. There was no casualties on your side. You managed to get rid of whoever you thought were following you. You shifted through these boulders and this mess of what was once a well put together canyon with spacious enough room, but after your small little visit and some shifting, you managed to free yourself from there, and you continued along this coastal mountain range, searching for whatever this X on the map marked at the behest of your companion Henry, the rabbit folk wizard. There was a couple of bumps here and there, and a bit of problems opening a door once you located this X to find some sort of underground dungeon or ruins of some sort, but with the use of your cloak and some good old bioforged muscle, you guys managed to make your way inside. Really wasn't too much to see after you got inside. It was just a very sloping tunnel that kind of wrapped back the way you came to go back underneath the desert. At this point, you realized maybe there was a bit more to see when someone stepped on some sort of trap, a pressure plate that depressed in the floor, and everyone froze. A little bit of quick thinking and the use of Fizzlewitz's droid, his turret, his robotic companion to be used as weight, and I think some rocks, if I'm not mistaken. You guys weighed it down and you continued on your way deeper into this place. It winded here and there, it moved back and forth, and this trap seemed to repeat about every 10 or so feet. But with such an easy pattern, you guys easily dodged these traps and made your way down to a door where there was another encounter. Peeking into here, you notice quite a bit of wasps. You notice a giant gem floating over top of an octagonal dais. Questionable choices were made. Shots were fired, crossbows were used, combat was entered with these wasps that have been indicative of the main guy trailing you, this weird jackal that seems to have the moniker of Pest attached to him. But they were easily dispatched. Angry Badger was summoned, which I believe is named Philip, who took up a large spot of this room, and he was quite eager to assist you in gobbling up these wasps and whatever else was in this room. There was a bit of miscommunication after the wasps were eaten, and he was kind of put into a corner after he tried to eat Sealaday when Sealaday tried to leave the room or tried to interact with him. It seems as though he doesn't have as much control over this giant badger as he did.
He's a bodyguard.
That being said, another attempt was made. You put yourself up into the hole in the roof above where this gem was floating, and that's where you saw the rest of the nest. This giant catacomb that seems to be made of paper and other things, and a lot of wasps up there, as well as Pest, this jackal-like figure. He gives you a warning if you shouldn't be here as he rose from where he was sitting, moving towards you, and you used your cat-like reflexes to let go of the lip and fall back down into the room. A quick exchange was sent to Fizzle, asking him, not really asking him, but informing him that Pest was inside, and he asked, "Do you want Rule's arm?" And that's where we left off. Sealaday, you've just fallen, you're on top of the dais, the last words in your head are, "Do you want Rule's arm?" What would you like to say?
Seeing as I'm still bleeding from my shoulder, I'm gonna clutch my arm. I'm gonna address Philip. Go! There's wasps up there! There's wasps up there! Go!
I need an animal handling check. By the way, the door is closed. I believe closed it.
I did close it.
So you're going to be doing that. What are you two on the other side of the door doing?
I believe I was handing off the gem to
Henry?
Henry.
Yeah, he's eagerly taken it. You've noticed he's actually taken a few steps away from the door, and it looks like he's focused intently on this gem.
I got a 16 for animal handling to try and coerce him into the butthole in the roof.
Okay, so that's what you're doing. Fizz, I'll just need to make sure I understand your intentions here. You've handed off the gem.
Yeah, mainly I just wanted to get rid of him. Henry, we're still in danger, so might want to wait on that. Check. Should we be checking on Sealaday?
He's dead.
You just locked me in the rave cave.
Are you sure he's dead?
Pretty sure.
Dead to me.
If he isn't dead now, he's going to be dead in about...
So you're making no move towards the door, you're just having a little conversation, correct?
I am sitting against the door like I'm trying to block it shut. Like I'm leaning... They are at like there was a locking mechanism on the door, right?
Apparently, so that's
the door
weird.
was ajar.
Let me quickly deal with this. So,
Because I would close the door, slam it, and lock it.
alright, well,
The door was ajar when we got here.
the badger
Yeah,
is
let's
already
work.
kind of like moving towards you as you just kind of direct him in. Are you standing your ground on top of the stairs? Are you giving way for the badger, or what is Sealaday doing?
So last session I mentioned that I want to like sit on the ground and kind of clutch my shoulder. So like I'm making myself as small a threat as possible. I am purely directing the menace that is my badger up into the butthole. like you have free reign of the room. Don't look at me. Look at the butthole.
Okay. I want to very quickly get everyone here to roll initiative for me. Just so I have that tracked.
Not bad, not bad.
So everyone roll, and then I will ask for your numbers. Everyone's rolled?
Yep.
Alright, 20 to 25.
Double deuces.
22.
So 22.
Just quick math. 2 plus 2.
Okay.
4.
So we have you going first, and then what did you get, Henry? Sorry, not Henry.
I don't play
Jesus
Henry.
Christ. Fizzle. What did you get,
15.
Fizzle? 15?
15.
Did you beat that seal a day or no? What did you get, seal a day?
I got a 4.
A 4.
2 plus 2 because Dex mod.
I feel like you and I are both in the double deuces club, just very different style.
Don't
Alright.
think I'm going.
Chick.
Both
Die.
having a deuce.
You can hear the sound of buzzing starting to come from that room, and it's getting louder and louder and louder. What are you doing? You're currently against the door, you have your back against it. You've kind of like reached back and you're fiddling for some sort of a latch, but the door doesn't seem like it was made to be locked. So it's just a plain simple door, but you are leaning against it. Well, technically you're pulling it because it was a push door, you know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
pushed, so like you're against it, but you're holding on.
Do I feel like a mechanism to like put a wooden board through there and block it?
No, it's just a door. There's no barring, locks, or anything like that on it. It's just a door with a little brass ring, and you're currently holding it and pulling it up against your back as tightly as you can.
Is the locking mechanism metal?
Again, there isn't a locking mechanism. The door is
It's
wooden,
like 2
and
doors
there's a
and a
metal
ring.
ring.
Leave it. You know, ass.
Artificer
I
with
need
the-
one initiative, so if you could.
I'm gonna. So, anybody have a way to lock this door?
Hi, Kraken.
I don't think I can. Are
So,
you sure he's dead? Cyril Day, are you alive?
Pretty sure.
Alright, so
Yeah,
you're
I
just
can't lock
spending
it.
your turn to ask. Can you lock this? Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Can somebody lock this? I'm trying to like hold it shut and like
Right.
I'm feeling for some way to lock this door behind me, but I'm not finding anything.
Right, so Henry's just walking away, you know, he's like kind of turned his back from you guys and he's like completely engrossed staring into this crystal, muttering under his breath. Fizzle, what are you doing?
Cyril Day, are you alive?
Over the sound of buzzing, you faintly hear the sound of someone calling to you. Is that your,
so,
are you holding your action for anything, or?
Check, would you move this? I think this kind of situation requires my, loud abilities.
Very well, I'll leave it up to you then. And as I say that, I'm going to,
Well, you will be on your next turn. Like I said, we're kind of in initiative here, so I can keep track of what's going on. So when we get to your turn, we'll deal with that. Fair enough?
Okay.
Alright. So the next thing that happens then is we get to what's happening inside the room. A bunch of
Nothing
wasps are coming down, and most of them, since you've moved away, you've clutched your shoulder, and you've tried to, like, squeeze yourself into a corner as tightly as you can. Can you make a stealth check for me?
absolutely. That is a little better. And then expertise in stealth, I believe. Yes. So that gives me 19.
19. Alright.
Yeah.
So this room is starting to fill with wasps. You've pressed yourself in this corner as tightly as you can, as you see what's almost a pillar of wasps are coming down. And Philip the Badger, much to your credit, was listening as he's moving towards this, as the wasps kind of like smash into this poor gigantic badger. And at first it looks like he's having a great time. But it soon looks like he's starting to really take a toll from all of these things. And you also see like a pair of boots starting to appear as he's descending his way down, almost like inside of this column of wasps. Celia, it's your turn as this guy is taking his movement down, and he's like looking around trying to figure out where you go.
Is
But
it
he's
like a climbing speed?
not a climbing speed, he just has a movement speed.
Well, he said he's coming down to the butthole, right?
Yeah, he's floating inside of his wasps.
Okay, because he can levitate. Correct. Okay. Upon hearing Vizzle call, I'll take a mental note of it. I want to try and cast Hold Person on Jackal Boy.
Okay. So he gets a save against that, correct?
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah,
cast this spell, if you want to get into that?
I'll probably whip out my flute, and I'll blow like a really quick shrill G, and basically let out like a piercing shrill whistle, like throw off his equilibrium.
Okay.
And my spell save is 15.
15. It looks like he stops, and he's still floating inside of these wasps, but you can tell, he's stiffer than he was. His posture just kind of changes slightly, and you notice, like, it almost looked before like he was, like, kind of trying to keep his balance inside of these wasps, but now he's just kind of, like, hands are very still, and he's just kind of, like, wobbling back and forth, and the wasps are doing more of the work to keep him upright.
Okay. Since I did that, that's a standard action. I'm going to let out a quick call. I'm still alive! Phillips, engage the wasps! The bee-boy's in here! Help!
Yeah, I think you're right. He might be dead.
I told you.
So we get to the badger's
Uh-oh.
turn, and it's just doing what badgers does. It's swiping with its claws, it has its mouth open, it's snapping its jaws angrily, and to its credit, there's some damage being done. Some wasps are disappearing in its presence, but there's probably double its weight in insects coming against it here, so it may or may not be able to get through this. We'll find out, but you can hear the sound of Sealiday calling to you faintly through the door. You can hear a cacophony of sounds, of thrashing teeth, of badgers screaming, of beating wings, and Fizzle asking you, let me through. What are you going to do?
I'm going to turn to him and say, so, do we help the fancy idiot, or do we let him die?
Right, so that's just a free
Well,
action. You still have an action.
Well,
You can respond on your turn. Like I said, we just... Sadly, this
Initiative.
is why we went into initiative, right?
Yep.
So- You have an action, a bonus action, and a movement.
I'm going to flip out my scimitar with one hand.
Oh, someone closed the door on my dog. He's stuck in here. Let me open the door for the poor guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to help him.
You don't
Sorry
have
about that.
Help the poor idiot.
He was just looking sad.
I'm gonna flip my scimitar out on my offhand, and I'm gonna boot fuck the door open since you said it opens that way.
Alright. Don't even need a strength check. You flip it out in one motion. You turn around, putting your boot against it, and you're trying to kick, but like the door is a push door, and it's, so it opens, and you kind of like just step forward through your kick. Inside, you can see some figure. He's obscured quite heavily by all of the wasps, and it looks like he's teetering back and forth. You can see about up to his waist. That's as far as he's gotten down so far. You see a bunch of wasps everywhere. You see a giant badger engaged in a fight with a very physical pillar made out of insects. And you see Sealiday Yeah, you scream so you don't have your stealth check anyway. You see Sealaday kind of like pressed against the corner about 10 feet in, and he's just like, he has his flute out. And he's like just whistling through it to like keep his concentration on the hold potion spell. That's the scene before you. You still have your movement and a bonus action.
Can I start like just swinging at the? Actually, no. I'm going to use Kenshi shot to make a bonus action with my hand crossbow.
Okay.
Because as a bonus action on your turn, make ranged weapon attacks with your Kenshi weapon.
And what are you shooting at? Sealaday? He's dead! Closes the door again!
Don't tempt her. Please.
I'm going to aim for the Jackal Man, but any sort of...
Okay, you will at disadvantage due to the cover from his wasps, but you can
Oh,
make
then I'm aiming for the wasp bundle.
Okay, so you just want to shoot at the wasps?
There's a lot of things there. I'm gonna shoot it. Hopefully, I'll hit something.
Yeah, you'll hit something.
Yep. That is a 4. I don't think I'm gonna hit shit. Plus, that's a 10.
You wasted the 2020
I mean,
initiative.
You would think you would miss, but there's just so many wasps, you can still roll damage for that.
I can still. There's just so many of them.
Yeah, like it's
not to-
impossible not to hit something. All of these wasps, like I said, are probably about 2 to 3 inches,
Yeah, they big.
and there's enough of them to support the weight of a dude.
That's 6 damage.
6 damage, yeah. So like you shoot, and you're like, "There's no way that hits," and you just manage to catch 1 or 2 wasps as it comes in, and you see like it literally
There's just
sticks in
anything
one of
that-
them, and the wasp spirals out, collides with a few others, and it splats into the ground. Henry doesn't seem to be doing anything else. He's intent on his whatever it is that he's doing. Fizzle, it's your turn now. You see, like, the door opens, they fire a shot off wildly, and a couple of insects go down. And your shorts, you can kind of, like, see this framed between the Bioforger's legs.
Okay, whip out a wand, run underneath our Warforged legs, and fireball.
Fireball.
Yeah, if I detonate it at the ceiling, it would not hit any of us, would it?
What's the radius on fireball?
25 feet.
20 foot.
20 foot? I thought it was 25.
20 foot radius.
It might hit the badger, but that's
Fuck
about it.
Badger.
Fuck. But Philip loves you.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. But it'll hit Jackal Dude and the Badger.
Yeah, and Jackal Dude, he's under a hold person, so he'll just fail it.
All right, fireball it is.
Roll 6s across the board.
Max damage.
And after looking it up,
Dropped
The-
one.
taking damage doesn't cause a whole person to fail.
I'm aware.
Just gives them an
But
extra
thank you.
save.
Good to know, good to know.
It gives them extra reason to get out of it. Presumably,
What
you
a
just
reason to get out of it.
35.
where's all that black powder?
Gone. I used it all last session.
So what was your damage?
35 fire damage.
35 fire damage.
hmm
And you're casting it from the wand.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Which I do not have the DC for. I
uh,
think it's usually pretty low.
it's gonna be just... Oh yeah, it's from the wand. Yeah, I have that then. Alright, so... Chick busts into the door. They kind of take a wide stance as they lift their crossbow, blasting up a couple of wasps. And they look impressed with themselves for hitting this shot, and you know you can do a lot better than this, as you kind of like smooth between their legs, pointing the wand up towards the roof. It's a bit of a close
Which
shot.
Flick.
But it's just far enough. This explosion goes off, rocking the entire room. There's a blast of heat, and it falls just short of everyone else, but it's blinding to behold in this otherwise dark room, especially now that the crystal's gone. This is the only source of light. It settles, and you see that a bunch of the wasps are gone, and with the absence of them, this figure has also been knocked loose, shall we say. Let's see if he still has that hold potion or not. He'll pass it this time. 15 ties you, right?
Yep. At the end of his turn.
The end of his turn.
Yeah, at the end of each of its turns.
Okay, well, in that case, he'll still break it, and he just kind of like lands on the dais, and that'll be his entire turn.
Does he take fall damage?
It's not that far up. It's 20 feet. I'll make a check. I'll make a check.
Look how cute he's trying to look.
You know fall damage as well as I do.
Is there anything else you're doing on your turn, Fizzle?
I'm going to step aside out of Chick's way.
Alright, so you blast this, and you move back, and just out of the corner of your eye, you see this guy kind of like... All of his wasps are gone. He's falling through the air, and he manages to just like shake himself free, breaking this trance that Sealade has on him. And he like superhero lands it. 3 points. One hand in the air, one knee down, one hand down. But he's like just bringing his head up, and he's scanning the room. But that's really the most he can do. He still seems a little dazed as the spell is leaving him. Sealade.
Upon seeing...
Just to be clear, there's still probably about 100 or so wasps, and there's still more coming down. But right now in the room, there's probably only about like 15 left. But you can hear the sound of more coming.
Okay. I'm going to cast Suggestion. I have 2 more second level spells, so Suggestion will be down to 1. I'm going to cast Suggestion. I'm going to let out a shrill blast with my flute. I'm going to snap my fingers 3 times, and then I'm going to command them, send your wasps back up the hole.
I'm just quickly reading the spell.
Yep.
You suggest a coast limited sentence, magically influenced creature. So I'm seeing if he has like an advantage against it since you're hostile, as you kind of get with some spells. But this one doesn't look like there is any of those. Alright, so he just gets to make a flat save to see if it works.
Please, 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 Dad, please.
Guess you'll find out on his turn.
As he just shoves his whole leg down my throat. I'm gonna try. Can I roll stealth to like squeeze myself back in the corner?
Unfortunately, that's an action unless you're a rogue. You can still try to squeeze yourself further behind. You can try to.
I'm just gonna try and like crumple myself. Since I can tumble, I know how to contort myself. I'm gonna squeeze myself in the smallest butthole available in this room.
Wait, are you staying in the room, or are you trying to like make it towards Chick?
I'm just gonna stay where I am.
So you just plaster yourself more against the wall, hands out, so it's just...
Wait, I'm the smallest butthole.
Prepare yourself.
Alright, then we get to Philip's turn. He's on fire, so he's going to try to like roll around, and he's trying to like put himself out. And it's a little grotesque watching this giant badger trying to extinguish itself on top of all of these now charred wasp bodies. And there's this squelching sound, and there's a crunching sound, and there's just a lot of auditory inputs that you never really wanted to go together. It's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to smack my hand against my weapon arm, casting Searing Smite on it. Say, time to go to Pound Town, and I'm gonna book my shit up this man's butthole.
Does your weapon ignite when you cast this, or what does it look like?
I smack it twice. What I'm actually doing is hitting a little compartment inside when I do that shoots gasoline up across the blade, and then the second hit hits the ignition, so then it sparks up, lighting up the whole length of the blade.
You got it.
First one fuel, second one ignition.
Okay. And then you go running at
And
this.
then I book my shit to this man. So I've got one unarmed fisticuff to punch him with, and a blazing sword.
Okay.
And this means on my next turn I will have a bonus to my AC.
Okay.
So I'm trying to stack that in my favor as much as possible. And last time I had put my forge thing on top of myself, because I have that noted here. So I'm gonna have 20 AC next turn if he tries to hit me. But for now, I'm going to hit him unarmed, scimitar, and then again with my second attack. And maybe I'll throw some key points in this too. We'll see how much I decide to blow up.
Okay. You got it. Go ahead and roll an attack for me.
So, first attack. Unarmed and scimitar. That is a 19 and an 18 on the die, plus 6 each.
A 19 and a 16 on the die.
19 and an 18 on the dice, plus 6 each.
24 and 25 to hit.
Those will hit.
I was hoping you would say as much. Okay, that is D6. D6 with my fisticuffs. The D4 blaze enchantment on the weapon. Plus the Searing Smite, which is an extra D6. That is 17 fire damage.
Okay. Fizzle, you're up next after Henry, by the way, so just be ready.
Yep.
Plus 15 magical, like, punching and slashing damage.
Okay. So your
So-
total is?
Oh, Connor, I have too bad of a headache for math. This is why I'm telling you these things.
34?
Thank you, James. And that's
I think that's math.
the
sounds
first
like math.
attack.
Well, you would think so, but something happens. As you slash down towards this guy, your sword trailing fire as it goes. At that point of impact, he looks up at you, and there's just this moment of eye-to-eye contact, and he watches his eyes flip up, and the last few bugs in the room just kind of move around him, and as they come, they cover his face, and they kind of block your view for a second. You feel your sword connect, but you also just see a flurry of movement as he kind of vanishes, and you think he probably went upwards. He's taken a little bit of damage, but he has managed to avoid part of your attack.
Okay, I'm still gonna use my extra attack to hit the rest of the bugs and try to clean up
So
some of this
just
shit
keep-
around me.
Yeah, if you
I
can't
just
hit him,
keep
swipe the others.
Yeah, I just keep swinging, you know? There's more
Yep,
things to hit.
for sure.
I will have 1d6 less to do. That is a 17 and an 18 on the dice.
Those will
That-
smack some more bugs.
Okay, let's smack some more bugs. That is 15 damage in total.
15 in total. Alright.
Yeah.
So you slash through, making this eye contact, and he disappears, but there's a couple of bugs gone. You come back with another swing, cleaving through these other ones, and another 3 wasps get caught by your sword. they fall to the ground smoking and bisected. Is that your turn?
I'm gonna shout angrily, he's gone! Find him! He wanted to fuck. I came to fuck. And now he's trying to run away?
So that's your turn?
Yes, that is my turn now.
Fizzle. You can see Henry behind you, and it looks like he's kind of caught in a trance at this point. He's no longer mumbling to himself. But it is your turn.
That can't be good. Douchebag simply vanished.
You can roll a perception check if you want.
No, I don't want.
Okay.
Fuck this shit. Fairy fire.
On?
The entire room.
I
Or at least centered in the room.
I'm in the room.
You might need
Yes,
to
we
specify
all
a
are.
target for that, so it could be the dais if you want.
Because Fairy Fire outlines, and then it gives advantage to hit whatever you outline.
Yep.
So the room can't really make a dex save, but there's only so many of them.
No, like centered in the in the middle of the room.
Okay, so you want it just floating on top of the dais sort of thing?
Mhm.
To add a little bit of light? Oh,
Yes,
what is the intentions behind this fairy fire?
Oh, well, anyone that fails their dex save is no longer going to be invisible. Unfortunately, that also includes us, if it's big enough to fill the entire room.
I mean, I have dark vision. I don't give a fuck about the dark.
Yeah, but it'll also mean advantage on anyone that fails their save. Dex save, DC 15.
DC 15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're seeing if he's invisible in there. So
That's a nat 20.
how do you
Nice.
cast this spell? Is it like a glitter
My-
cannon?
No, no, not out of my arcane cannon firearm, but out of my mechanical backpack. I'll lean forward a bit and pull a trigger, and out of like a little tube, you hear a thump, like a little grenade-looking thing just arcs off to the center of the room and goes poof. Like, it looks like a lot of glitter.
Yeah, so there's... You arc this thing forward, and it's perfectly aimed to detonate directly over the center of this dais, which is the center of this room, as best as you can tell. Chick is already in like this frenzy, slashing wildly, and upon hearing this sound, they're already like dropping their shoulder and rolling out of its distance and like coming up, unaffected by your glitter. There's a bunch of wasps, however, still kind of buzzing around, and now they're glittering, but you see most of it where this figure was just kind of falls down onto the dais. Sparkling nicely, giving off quite a bit of light. It's a very fluorescent glitter that you have, but doesn't seem like there's anyone invisible there. But the wasp might be easier to hit now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Connor,
Yes.
on the start of each of that guy's turns, he needs to make a constitution saving throw, and on a fail, he takes a d5 fire damage.
Okay. Is that your turn, Fizzle?
I'm gonna move back towards Henry.
Okay.
My dex save for the fairy fire was 19, by the way.
Okay, so you're unaffected by your own little blast. And you move towards Henry, leaving this room.
That will last for 1 minute, or until
Alright.
I lose concentration.
You said at the end of his turn? Chick?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he needs to keep doing that until he either puts himself out or when my spell ends.
Alright. So, as you're leaving this room, you can see the room is kind of shaking all of a sudden at the top, and suddenly just stones start to fall. And what comes out is an even bigger cloud of bugs. And you can just see like this guy, he's coming down, and this time he has his weapon drawn, and he just goes straight to the dais, landing in front of you. Chick chick. I need you to make a dex saving throw.
Yep. Nat 20 plus 6.
Plus 6. Okay. So, you look up. You manage to tear your eyes away from the sight of this guy coming down, and you sidestep a stone as it's coming. But as you look away, he still manages to just come up with a swipe of his own sword. It seems to be some sort of rapier, but there's a little bit of an edge to it, and it looks a little bit serrated.
Okay.
It hurts when it hits you. I believe it hits you. Your AC, my friend, is, you said 20 now?
Yep.
Okay. This time it doesn't hit, and you manage to just barely get your sword up in time, and there's just this grinding sound as one tooth after the next kind of swipes into you. And then he just kind of looks like he moves towards you, and you realize it's just instead a form of bees that has now like kind of like taken up his own appearance, and he's gone. Cielidae, you've done nothing to change your dex, your AC, so I also need you to make a dex saving throw as you're in this room. What did you get?
Nothing good.
Nothing.
I'm rolling like fucking garbage today. Luckily I do have proficiency with dex check, so at least is a 10.
A 10. Okay. You're watching this fight go on, and you're just like, what the hell is that? And at the last second, you look up, and you see part of the roof coming down towards you. And you think to yourself, I should get out of here. And you manage to like move your face out of the way. But the rest of the stone still collides with your shoulder. And you're going to take...
I do, if I get a benefit from a dex check, I can tumble to reduce it by half.
Is it a reaction?
Yep, it's just
Alright, well it'll be 10 points of bludgeoning damage unless you want to half it to 5.
I will half it to 5. I will attempt to throw myself out of the way.
Okay, so you kind of, you go with it, you know, it's coming down on your shoulder, and you drop that shoulder kind of like rolling with it to get out of the way. It still scrapes it up, scrapes your shoulder pretty good, and you can hear the sound of fabric ripping, and the dress, and your high heels. The look is a little scuffed all of a sudden. It's not the same clean Cielidae that it was at the start of this.
I forgot it looks like a lady.
Cielidae gets to your turn, but you can see that Philip is now lying very still, as like more wasps are just like piling onto this badger. Rip Philip. F in chat.
Considering... Did I actually see the jackal come down, or is it just jackal-shaped bees?
Roll a perception check.
Yeah, sure, now I rolled good. I'd say 25.
25. It was him, but and you can see like he's actually moved, and he's currently like, you don't really see him fully, but you just see like the little tip of his boot, and it looks like he's crouched down behind the dais, and he's moving with the swarm. And there's actually like a physical, like an embodiment of him made out of bees fighting Chick Chick.
Oh, okay, so he's basically using the swarm as like a clone, and he can command it.
Guess you'll find out.
You've
Okay.
heard of clone jutsu.
Bee clone.
Bee clone.
Much like a cyclone, but
But
bees.
bees.
Bees. I'm going to use my last level 2 spell slot. I'm going to cast Suggest again.
Okay.
and I'm going to once again let out a shrill whistle. This time, since I can physically see him, I'm going to command him, send your bees back up. And then I'm going to take a look. I'm just going to scan my eyes across the room, and I'm going to look at Fizzle. And I'm going to give a nod of my head and a sharp couple blasts on my flute. And I'm going to give him Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to try and take some of my movement away from the my hidey hole towards the main door.
So you can make it to the door if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I have taken 23 damage. None of that from combat.
Luckily, most of the wasps are concentrated on the person with the flaming sword and the still smoking badger, even though the badger doesn't seem to be putting up much of a fight anymore. So you're able to get to the door unaffected.
Unimpeded?
They have bigger fish to fry.
Like the dead badger.
Like
I am about to eat all of the fish.
So we get to Henry's turn. Fizzle, you can see this. He's still just making love eyes at that thing. And we get to your turn, Fizzle.
Would it be a full action to slap that damn thing out of his hand?
It would be. Because that would be an attack.
Considering you have to pull out a ladder to get up there.
Yeah, running jump at the very least.
No, I meant out of Henry's.
I know.
I'm aware.
Okay.
You realize you're like 1'1", right?
Hey, I'm not that small. Halflings aren't that small.
I can dream.
Still pretty small.
Yeah, I'm pretty small. Yeah, it's been so long since I used the spell. I don't even know what it does. Fuck it. Pulling out a different wand. Circle of Protection is now active.
Okay, so are you casting it on yourself, or are you casting it?
I don't even know what the spell does. If it has to be cast on someone, I'll cast it on
It doesn't. I
Chick
think
Chick.
it just needs an area that you want to cast
Okay.
it.
Center it on Chick Chick then.
On Chick Chick.
Yeah, it seems to be in the most danger.
I don't know. I got hit once last session.
Alright.
And Serial of the Day. Give me your bag. Quick.
You need to choose. So what are you thinking of? Celestials, elementals, fays, fiends, or undead? As you're casting this spell, there's just this... It pops into your head and you have to think of one of these.
Insects? That on the list?
It says giant wasps, actually.
It's just a mosquito net. You just throw up.
Faye?
Faye?
Faye.
So,
Like I said, been a long
as
time
you
since I
cast a spell, you feel the energy build in the wand, and you just very quickly think, Faye. And out comes a streak of light, and it strikes the ground, and it encircles around Chuk Chuk. And there's this faint greenish glow underneath your feet now. That's your action.
Serial of the Day. Give me your bag. And that's everything.
Okay. Then we get to the wasps. Once again. Ooh, baby.
Stop feeding the dead horse, or in this case, a dead badger.
But it's
Yeah, dead
fun.
badger.
I don't want to be a dead badger.
The first strike
When you got Philip killed.
comes towards you. And once again, you block with your scimitar. And at this point, you watch as the arm just kind of reforms on the other side. And the second attack does connect with you. And you're going to take 4 points of piercing damage as this fist made of wasps kind of connects. And you feel a stinger just kind of land on your shoulder where there's a little bit of flesh.
Is he still taking fire damage?
He is. This thing isn't.
So you've been taking D6s?
Yeah, and the main thing to take away from this is at this point you realize that this isn't him.
Yep.
This is instead a bunch of wasps that are taking his form. Sealiday, with your passive perception, you hear the sound of boots coming up behind you.
Quick, out of out of character knowledge. Does the bunny wear shoes?
Nope, his feet are out there and.
Fuck. Okay.
Can
Is
you-
it my turn?
Well, first you're gonna make a con saving throw.
Like fuck, I am.
I need a cigarette.
Okay. Fight me. Not 20.
Nat 20. Alright, so you
That
hear
makes a
these
total of
boots
4.
and you kind of like freeze, bracing for impact, and you feel it. You feel this serrated sword as it just kind of like slides and it misses you on the first one, and he brings it against your abdomen and he pulls back with this serrated. It's almost like a cutlass now that you're getting a good look at it. And at first it hurts as you take your first point of actual combat damage. 7 points of slashing damage. And then the wound just starts to burn, but you manage to fight off whatever poison seems to be coating this guy's blade. And we get to your turn. He's behind you. His sword has been run across, just completely shredding that side of your dress.
When is it going to be my turn again?
Oh,
I only
yeah,
got
shit. No, yeah,
one.
you...
Because yeah.
Yeah, it was... sorry, I did miss your turn. You can go. My apologies there.
Okay, can I smell where he is burning from? I have a passive 16.
No.
Damn, it smells too much like burnt badger.
And too much... There's burning everywhere.
I was kind of hoping that burnt jackal smelled distinctly different from burnt badger and burnt alfalfa.
It's all just burnt hair. It's
All
just...
just burnt.
It's gross.
Can I see him anywhere if I, like, look?
You would see him
accurate.
after he attacks, but since you're technically going before he's stealth, you wouldn't see him yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and I apologize for that. But good, thank you for catching me.
Yeah, because you were telling Seal a day ago, and I'm like,
What's happening?
Okay, I am going to, run towards Seal a day and, like, heft him by the back of the dress and shove him along.
Okay, you will take an attack of opportunity from the wasp as you leave. There's quite a few. Just as a heads up. You can probably do it because you have high AC, but there will be attacks of opportunity.
Now I'll just keep swinging at wasps then. It costs me nothing to swing at them. Technically, I can do 4 attacks a turn.
As long as you have
More
key
if I
points.
spend a key. Oh no, that's without the key point. It
Ye-
goes up to 6 if I spend a key point.
How? 'Cause Fury
Unarmed, plus sword, plus extra attack. Dueling.
Because you would have 1 attack, right? And then you have your extra. And then you would have your bonus action for your offhand attack, right?
Oh yeah, so 3. I forget that that's how it works in this one. Well, I can go up to 3 and then 5
Yeah.
with a key point.
Yes.
Well, I'm just gonna keep swinging. Because that's how I keep my AC at the 20 if I use an unarmed strike. Then it goes up to 2 for the next turn.
Ooh.
Okay, so that is a 2 17s and a 10, but plus 6, and then the lowest is a 16.
A 16? All of those will hit.
All of those will hit. Beautiful. Okay, so...
Just hear Andre yodeling.
28 in total. over 3 hits.
Okay.
How many wasps are around me?
It's hard to count based on the solid thing in front of you, but besides the solid mass of wasps that are trying to hold some sort of semi-humanoid form, there's probably another... We're going to count them in groups, we'll say, so there's probably about another 2 to 3 groups around you.
Okay, so there's still quite a swarm. I'm gonna spend a key point and do 2 more unarmed strikes.
Okay, all on to the same amalgamation in front of you?
Yeah, on the amalgamation in front of me. That's 2 17s plus 6 each.
Those will hit.
Yeah. I thought so. That's 14 damage.
14 damage. You've definitely started to take quite a few chunks out of this thing. Every strike has carved off quite a bit, but the wasps around you, instead of like staying out there and staying loose, they just kind of move towards this thing. So now there isn't any other wasps around you except for this amalgamation as you started to carve through them. So the attacks will still stand.
The sword attack will light it on fire because my my Searing Smite is still active. I haven't lost concentration by doing something else that requires concentration.
Okay.
So it's still on fire. It's still lighting them up. That's 2 extra d6 because I just checked the spell.
Okay.
So that is plus 9 fire damage, and the swarm of bees is burning now, and it's going to take a d6 each turn.
Nice. And did you make the con check to see if you hold concentration when you get hit on this thing's turn? Which technically is happening now. So, like, you'd still get the first round with it.
That's 19.
19? Yep, that'll pass it. Alright, so now that we've settled this, we've moved forward in this, we're back on the actual timeline.
To the ripped dress and a pair of stilettos up my ass.
Yes, so we get back to Seal a Day with your dress now shredded.
I just have one small question.
Yeah?
How much do my fists look like the windshield of a car going down a highway in summertime?
Very. It's disgusting.
Horrific. It's
in the back of your mind, you're like, my hands are not going to work the way they used to work before. I'm gonna
have to replace half of these gears.
Like a full reassembly is going to be needed. Alright, so Seal a Day.
After I feel the like the piercing slash cut my side, I'm going to. Can I feel like his body right against mine? Like, is there that?
He's not like spooning you, you know, but he's. He is like, you know, in combat range. I would say probably within like 2 feet from you.
And I did miscount. I do have one more second level spell slot, but I'm not using that at the current moment.
Okay.
So I'm using my last level 3 spell slot. And I'm going to... No, I'm a liar. I'm going to cast Bane.
Bane.
Yes. I'm actually going to turn around. I'm just going to strike him in the top of the head with my flute.
Does he get a save against Bane or anything like that? Or?
It's a charisma save.
Okay, charisma save.
Against 15.
Yeah, I mean, you turn around and you strike him. Not hard enough to do any damage, but like, as you turn around, he's very low to the ground. It looks like he kind of ran at you at like this weird, like, half crouch, and he's just kind of looking like, bad dog, as you like swipe out with your flute. As you like hit his head, there's like a little arcane flash, and you see a little sigil for Bane.
Okay. And then I'm going to... I think this equal to my... Oh, yeah, I don't... No, that's Fool's Insight. Okay. Yeah, so Tumble also. I'm going to, as soon as I strike him with my flute, I'm going to drop into, like... You've played Metroid, right? When Samus turns into a little ball and it's just like...
Yeah, Autobots roll out.
Yeah, I roll the fuck out.
Okay.
Tumble gives me dash, disengage, climbing speed, and then half damage. So I'm just going to turn into a ball, and I'm just going to roll out of his range.
Alright, so you strike him at the same time you kind of like you drop your hips back and like tumble back over your shoulder, coming up, turning around at the same time. And where are you headed?
Away from him.
Okay.
Um,
You can actually take your full movement if you want, since this is a dash, and you could get 2, or you could get past Henry and Fizzle if you wanted.
I'm gonna back up towards Henry. Henry's obviously investigating something that he kind of wants protected, so I'm gonna take basically a defensive stance to try and protect Henry in whatever he's doing.
Okay, so you drop your shoulder, you turn, and you exit this room, just flaring behind you as you go. It's about as dramatic as it can be.
All they hear is cower.
You're
And just
used to
quick
being in
comment.
combat, and you're also used to realizing when you're alone in the room with your passive perception. And you are indeed alone in this room, besides the wasps and a dead badger and flaming bodies. You can see the jackal now in his weird half crouch, a weird sigil on his head, and his fur slightly singed and smoking still.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
He's just there? On display for me?
If you want, you'll take an attack of opportunity, leaving the wasp to go hit him if you want to, but...
Oh, no, I will not. Because you see, I will spend a key to take a disengage.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need all my hit points here in a minute. When I start taking this man to Pound Town.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend a key point to book my shit over there. And I'm going to lay into him.
Okay.
That is a 19 and a 17 to hit, plus 6 each.
Okay. Do the damage for the first attack.
Okay, this is going to be the sword with smite. $18.
18. So you strike at him. Again, you collide with him, but once again, you watch as the bugs swarm over you and around you, once again, blocking this blow, and he's gone again.
I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the one hit I get on him, right?
Yes. Because after this, he is leaving.
I want to try and make that a stunning strike.
Okay.
So he just needs to succeed a Constitution saving throw, because hitting him with a melee weapon works for a stunning strike.
That is a 20 on the die.
What freaking fuckberry pies!
But you can mark off your key point, and it was a good attempt. And once again, it's less complete as it was. It's now, before it was very close. This caricature, we could say, this effigy of what he looks like. But now it's kind of like there's a void where the face used to be instead. And instead it's more of like this weird outline.
It's gonna take 6 damage for my second attack that it took.
Okay. You slash into it again angrily. It's so frustrating being unable to keep up with this guy.
I punch right into it where the heart should be, and I can rip nothing out, and that is the saddest part about this. I can rip out bees, but it's not the same as my enemy's beating heart.
We get to Henry's turn, if this is the end of yours.
It's not quite the end of mine.
Not quite. Chick has more.
Quite. Chick has more usually.
Because monks. They're awesome like that.
I'm the Energizer Bunny.
I am going to... Still got that 20 AC. I'm down to like 2 key points left. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to do anything else. Nah, yeah, I'm not going to do anything else right now. I'm not going to do anything else right now. I'm going to wait.
Good. thankfully Ciolidae is back, and this was supposed to happen before, but I let your turn go because it is the start of the round. So, being as the roof has cracked, I just needed you here again for all of you now to make a dex saving throw as the layer action happens.
No, I don't want to. I don't like layer actions.
I can't hear you, James.
Suck my toes. Suck them.
Suck 'em. What'd you get?
15.
22.
22. No,
22.
25.
Disgusting.
So you guys all manage to avoid the rocks, but the roof is collapsing above you as this fight is dragging on. It's going to get harder and harder as, like, now most of the ground is starting to turn into difficult terrain at this point. There's clumps of stone everywhere, mixed with the squishing and the squelching of bug guts that is making this floor also slick as this is going on. Fizzle, we get to your turn. You see Henry still staring into that crystal. He's kind of tearing his eyes off of it, and you can see he's not under an effect of a charm, being as he is getting out of the way of the rocks, and he's aware of his surroundings, but he just gets right back intently into this thing, and then he looks up at you, and he goes, I'm going to get going now. I suggest we go. And he just starts booking it. Full dash action back the way you guys came. And we get to your turn. You can try to stop him if you want. But he's booking it.
Trip him.
Okay, I need some positions here. Where and how far is
I'm close by you.
the actual jackal guy from everyone else?
You can't see him from where you are. He's vanished.
He is hopefully on fire, though.
How long does that last, by the way?
A minute.
A minute?
Oof.
Damn.
It's like really annoying gonorrhea.
That lasts a minute.
The little spicy.
Real STDs. 1 minute timer. Just survive. Alright, Fizzle. What are you doing?
You heard the rabbit. Out of here. I'm dashing after Henry.
Okay, so are you just moving? Are you taking the dash action? I need a little bit more here.
Moving up to Henry, unless I need the dash action to do so.
Like I said, he took his dash action. He's 60 feet. He's gone. He's bounding.
All right, then I am dashing after him.
Actually, I think he's faster than that because he's a rabbit folk.
Probably.
Probably 35.
I think they actually just get
Kenyan movement speed.
rabbit hop. During each of your walks at least 5 feet, you can hop rolling a d12.
They just get unga bunga movement speed. Imagine if they were a monk.
So he's done his sprint, but he's also moved an additional 8 feet. As he's kind of like just hopping along rapidly, jumping over one rock, over another, just booking it up. You just see his little cottontail and his floppy little ears.
I love him.
So are you taking your dash action after him, or just 30 feet?
Dash.
Alright. You still have your bonus action if you want anything to do, or are you...
Nothing to do with a bonus, really.
Alright.
Bye.
So you start moving.
Yelling out at... No, yeah, I'm done.
Alright. Chick. You're the only thing left here. These wasps are going to try to smash.
I would like to shout after the running away people something quickly.
Save it for your turn, baby.
Yep.
I need you to make a con saving throw.
For what?
Poison.
I'm
Or a
immune
saving
to poison.
Alright. First attack again, thanks to your crazy high AC, Misses. So you have your heart in these bees, and you feel them land on you. They start stinging, but they're not quite hitting. And then the figure almost moves forward as if to engulf you, and suddenly in your joints, your elbow, the inside of your elbow, you feel a bunch of stings, and you're going to take 5 points of piercing damage as they just start kind of clogging into your joints.
Going like this.
You're waving your arm trying to get them off. Can you make another concentration saving throw?
Okay. So first it was 6 damage.
Concentration check.
19 plus 3.
19 plus 3, that'll do it. Sealiday.
Yep.
It's your turn. Chick, you're on deck.
So from where I am, I cannot see Jackal Boy.
Nope. Make a perception check.
19 on the die plus 10.
Right.
So that is a 29.
You can see there's a shadow now by the door. And you can almost see a translucent figure that looks like it's kind of crawling out of the stonework by the door. It's very hard to make out, but the sloping posture does kind of make you think, that's him. He's about to slam this door on Chick.
Okay. Quick question. A little bit of a rewind. When I crawled up into the ceiling initially, and I glanced around and I saw the jackal waiting there to burgle my turts, so to speak.
Yeah, burgle your turts.
Did I see or hear anything implying, like, indicative of there being a way out in that side? Or was it like something like a spot and he was just like, this is my home now?
It looked like this was cracked open and went off into the mountain, and it was just turned into a gigantic nest. There was combs filled with larvae. There was insects everywhere and various branching paths that could either go into more hive or could maybe be a way out. But based on how deep you guys went, you're not convinced that it would be of the best way to go.
That makes my plan a little more difficult, because I had something really cheesy I could do, but if there's
Sounds like you.
If there's a way that he can escape, it's can I see into the room?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little difficult being as there's this weird kind of shadow in the way. So it's almost like you're looking through a little filter, you know, like you look that way and you're like, ooh, sunglasses in the shape of a man. But beyond this shaded figure, you can see Chick, and they're currently arm pumping around this weird wasp effigy. You know, they're like, they're elbow deep in a man made of wasps, is what you see.
Can I see the hole in the ceiling? Is it blocked by falling rocks, or is it still like a straight shot?
There's, like I said, it's pretty much difficult terrain around that entire area. So
The man who flies with bees does not give a fuck about difficult terrain. I just want to know about the butthole in the roof.
it's open bigger now than it was. That was kind of like a weak point in the structure, being as they already kind of chewed away the stone, and it started falling from there, and it's spread since then. There's damage to the roof, the ceiling, I guess I should say. So what are you doing?
I'm going to... And there's no other way in this hallway. It's just a straight shot hallway at the end there's a door.
Yes.
Damn. Okay. I'm going to spend my last level 2 spell slot, because now I know how to count. And I'm once again going to cast Suggestion, telling him to send his wasps up the hole and block it.
Okay.
So, DC 15, and then I'll roll, and that's -4 for whatever ability mod, for ability save.
I guess we'll find out.
and then I want to hold my bonus action. As my free action, I'm gonna call the ch. I'll be like, "Get out of there! Down the hall!"
Alright.
Basically, like use a dash action, get the heck out of there.
That's the end of your turn? Yeah, you held
Yeah.
that. Alright. I don't know if you can hold a bonus action. I think you can only hold an action.
Yeah, you can only hold actions as far as I'm aware.
The more you know.
Does that change anything for you, or?
I'll probably blow off a quick note or two and give as well Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
Ooh.
What do you say
The
to them?
D8.
Is that just you play your flute as you're yelling at them, and they're like, "Ooh."
Yep,
How are you yelling and playing the flute at the same time? Because
I
both
can
of them
breathe.
are in your mouth.
He's very
I
good
take-
at it. He puts the
I can
flute in
play-
his nose to hold the note as he yells.
Then put the flute in my ass.
I'm sorry I asked.
Chick, chick.
Toot toot, it's a flute.
You hear him yell at you, "Get out of there!" and you feel oddly inspired. You hear the
Yeah,
sound of combat music, fleeing music, an up-tempo sort of flute blast.
So I have bad boys trying to buggle my toots. I've got like the whole little beam and amalgamation like
Okay.
So I start running. And I still have the 20 AC at the moment instead of 19.
Okay. This is one attack of opportunity this time.
I suppose bugs.
Do you have anything that helps with difficult terrain?
I am a monk.
A monk?
I'm pretty sure they're just like terrain, never heard of it.
You only take 2 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
But you do manage to exit the swarm.
Isabie, love taps you on the tuchus.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, I got out of there unstuck," and as you're running, you just feel like another one like just sting you, and you like close your arm as you're running to crush it.
You motherfucker.
You bitch.
Bless you.
So,
Oh,
action,
that one was
bonus
just
action.
like sticking there for a second.
I got your movement. It'll be, unless you have anything that with difficult terrain, you're only moving 15.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do not have anything to help with that. But I am a monk, so I am moving faster than most people. I have plus 10 to my movement.
Well, if you're just running, can't you just take a dash action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you dashing, or are you?
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
you're not using for
Alright, so
anything
you
I'm
blow
definitely-
past Seal a Day.
else. I hear go gadget legs.
Yeah, I heard Go Gadget run, so I'm like, okay, I'm the last one here. I don't see that man anymore. Fuck it. This is what I wanted to do in the first place.
Okay.
Please let my
When you
Also,
make
I'm
it,
gonna yell out to Henry and Fizzle. Like, I'm holding my, a thing here. And I tell them, I have the key. Hello.
the key. Alright, now, quick thing. As you move away from this thing, you're heading towards the door.
Yeah.
The door you noticed is slightly less ajar than it was.
Okay.
Are you pushing through the door? Are you slipping out of the door?
Is this the door to Sealaday or a different door?
It's the only door in the room, so it's the way out of this
I'm gonna have to
antechamber.
push. I'm gonna have to go through it.
Alright. Well, like I said, it's a push door, and you're on the inside. So you can pull it open to get by, or you can try to just squeeze past it.
I'm gonna pull it open.
Alright, I need you to make a strength check.
and you have Bardic Inspiration
Athletics.
Yep, it can be athletics.
plus a D8.
I'm gonna add that D8.
I got a 50. What? You already?
20. Dirty 20.
20. You can feel some resistance to this door, and you just kind of like, you grit your teeth, you activate your sorrows and your bugged up arms, and you row this door open. And you're through, you're past it. But you do get the feeling that something was holding the door, trying to close it on you.
Something was struggling. Is there a thing on the other side of the door?
Not that you see, and unfortunately, you're not quite able to take a close look as you're already running, you're moving the door. You got a lot on your mind, you know?
So there's nobody to play fisticuffs with on the other side of this door.
Sadly not.
Unless you want to punch me in the face on the way by.
Sadly
Drive by,
not.
motherfucker!
It is a tempting offer.
Please.
Don't.
Let my suggestion work. That is all I want.
Now I need everyone, again, to make a dex saving throw.
Well,
12.
double check that.
21.
That's only a 17.
Alright. Chick.
Yes.
You barely get out of the way as another stone falls, and you're going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. But at the same time, you look behind you to see the amalgamation of wasps just eat a stone on and fall, and they just vanish under this rock. Just it's almost worth getting hit by this stone to witness that.
I'm gonna just do like a small like.
But everyone else, Fizzle, what did you get?
12.
12?
Yep.
The rabbit comes out of nowhere and just kicks you in the face.
You're gonna take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as one
rabbit?
of them also clips into you. Henry's doing fine. It looks like he's barely keeping ahead of it. You know, he sees one coming, he does another little hop as he's going, and he's focused. We get to his turn. He's bounding even harder. He's slowly making this gap bigger between you guys. Fizzle, we get to your turn.
Continuing to run,
Alright.
and then taking the dash action.
There's one thing you notice
Mm-hmm.
with your... Actually, roll a perception check for me.
Let's not use that dice. 17.
17. You can see that Henry's he's being pretty careless. And he hits one of those traps. And he bounds off of it. What you notice is there's like this field. Something pops up. It's difficult to see. Where's my dice? Found them. 6. As he jumps off of it, it's difficult to see what it is, and it kind of coalesces, and you can see, like, suddenly there's another creature that's been summoned in this hallway.
Oh. Really?
And then he hits another one, and you watch as magic missile strikes out, and it hits Henry in the back. You can see that these traps, whatever they are, seem to just be letting off random spells with every single one hit. The creature that is now blocking the way, it's like this silver worm that's just kind of floating, and it hasn't done anything yet, but you can see it has quite a few sharp little teeth in its mouth.
Got little toughies.
Yeah, little teethies.
Alright, so how close to that thing would my movement take me?
It's probably, you could take your full 30 and you'd be like still 5 feet away from it, or you can pass it and get 25 feet to its other side. But it might try to bite you as you run past it.
I'm gonna move, run up right beside it, thunder wave.
Okay.
Knock more rocks loose.
Constitution 15 DC.
15 DC. This poor creature. Alright, roll your damage.
Ooh, not bad. Well, for first level spell, 13 damage.
13 damage. So you watch as this thing starts to coalesce into existence, and you run by it. How do you cast this spell? What does it look like?
Adjust a knob on my mechanical backpack. Tiny little speakers pop out and go.
Yeah, it's like, "Bwah!" And this thing just like, as it's kind of forming, right? This magic is coming together, and it's slowly coming together. You just disrupt it completely, and instead there's just this red mist that sprays against the walls behind you. The wall itself also kind of shakes with the impact. You guys can all hear this thunderous explosion
The Doom soundtrack.
deeper down in the tunnels in the direction that you're running. Is that your turn?
Free action to yell behind me. Run faster! And that's my turn.
Alright. We get to Pest's turn. At this point...
Suggestion.
Yeah?
Did suggestion take hold?
We'll find out.
I want to know if I'm getting dicked or not.
You would think so, but the wasps are gone. Yes, exactly. But, Chick, at this point, you make out a movement very, very close to you.
Okay.
And it's strange. It's like this shadow, and it just kind of goes into the ground, and it disappears. And we get to Sealaday's turn. You also see this shadow that was pulling the door shut, trying to lock Chick away. They pull the door open, and this thing just kind of dissipates into the ground, seeping into the stones. We'll get to your turn.
You're a son of a bitch.
Creepy.
You couldn't let me just jank this, man.
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm going to I'm gonna stow my flute rather hastily into my holster.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do a quick limber up, and I'm gonna rub my hand along my my newly torn dress. I'm gonna cast Long Strider on myself, and I'm going to book absolute fuck.
And Long Strider does...
I believe it increases my movement by 10.
Alright, does it have anything for difficult terrain or anything like that?
I'm just looking it up. Increases my speed by 10 until the spell ends, so it's an hour. It does not say anything about difficult terrain.
Then with a dash action, you can move 40 feet.
Yes, so between my tumble as a dash action,
Okay.
and then Long Strider, I'm rolling Autobots for 80 feet a turn.
80 feet, alright. You're actually, like, catching up really, really quickly to Fizzle. So that
My
would be
dog
your
is
turn.
whining out. I'm gonna let her out again.
For sure. Chick. We get to your turn. More rocks are going to be falling soon. You can recognize this pattern at this point. And suddenly you're almost left alone. As Sealaday kind of like rubs his little calves, hikes his dress up, and just takes off. And you're thinking to yourself, he's clumsy, there's stones. And he just kind of starts like falling over himself, tumbling as he goes.
Is he still in
I'm
heal?
gonna book all of the shit I have after him, because what else can I do?
Alright, what did you say, Fizzle?
Is he still in heels?
Yeah.
Just for the
Yes,
imagery.
somehow they're still attached
Okay.
to his feet.
Okay, now I'm impressed.
You know, he's...
And
It's-
yes, I am.
As much as he's tripping, he's really good at going with the flow. Same as he was on the ground shakers. You think he would be, you know, less graceful, but he's really good at just landing on his face and finding his feet all in one movement. Alright, so you're
I
just...
just imagine him stumbling around in heels like a goddamn baby giraffe.
What's your full movement with a dash? And then you have nothing to stop
80.
this difficult terrain, so you'd be down to 40.
Yeah.
Alright. You're still
After the wind?
catching up to Fizzle, but you two are going to be lagging behind the most as this escape continues.
We are doing our best.
It's
Do
the-
you have any key points left?
Yes, I do.
Step of the wind?
I don't think I have that one.
You should find out. But also, while you're looking, I am
Just
going
nope.
to need another
base.
deck saving throw from everyone. As the rocks
You
are
do, it's a-
continuing to fall.
That's like one of the base monk things.
Yeah, it just, it lets me use dash as a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's,
They're already
Go for it.
dashing.
I'm already
Uh,
dash. It's not gonna do much, yeah. My distance to jump is doubled if I use it, but...
So, can I get that deck save from you, Chick Chick, and from you, Fizzle? And I'll get it from Seal Day when he... There he is, speak of the devil, and he shall return.
Inspiration! Is that a D6 or a D8?
D8 for current.
Awesome.
$25 for Dex.
25 for Dex. Chick Chick,
21.
Fizzle,
14.
14.
8 came in handy, didn't it?
Maybe? We'll
Could have
find
been
out.
worse.
Fizzle,
Could've
you're
been a
going
two.
to
Could've been
take
worse, yeah.
4 points of bludgeoning damage as everyone else, they're rolling, they're moving, they're going as fast as they can, and they're just kind of barely tripping over these rocks, dodging one, dodging the other. But you're a little shorter. For
You just
you
take a
to
rock
get
to the
over a
face.
rock, it's not as elegant, and you end up kind of like losing a bit of time, and like another stone crashes down, just barely hitting your shoulder. Your backpack is... You think something
I'm
probably got broken inside of it,
Fuck.
you know,
I
but
don't remember
you're...
how to fix that.
Yeah.
Go to doing it like a drunken binge. Come on.
Then we get to Henry's turn, as he continues to bound like a fool, setting off more of these traps as he goes.
Christ.
Can I get a D100 from each of you? I'll do it that way. We'll
I liked
sit-
Henry before. Now he's just being a dinkus. I just rolled a 1.
Roll again.
With disadvantage?
No, just roll again.
94.
94. You watch as Henry kind of swells in size as he keeps going. What did you get, Chick Chick?
I got a 21.
21. And Fizzle, what did you get?
70.
70.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Are you working to dodge these traps when... Oh, we'll deal with that when we get to your turn. Alright, so... First you watch as he starts to grow in size. Then you watch as, like, he kind of starts to slow down. And then he hits another trap and he just disappears. He's just gone.
Gone with the wind.
He just disappears. Fizzle, we get to your turn. Bunch of these traps have been set off, though. You can see, like, now that they've gone down and been reset, there's, like, there's a low spot in the floor. But it looks like it's slowly resetting. You know, you can roll an arcane check if you care to.
So I even I'm not sure if I would actually have time to do that.
Then don't
I know
worry
what spell
about
that
it.
is.
Then
Murder.
Yeah, I'm
don't.
not going to worry about that.
Don't
Yeah,
worry about
it's
it.
Too chaotic. Chaotic of
Yeah,
a situation.
you just noted, like,
for
that's a weird little
investigation.
mechanism, and you're like, mysteries for
Oh,
another
fuck.
time, baby. Places to see, rocks to catch.
Fuck it, I'm booking it.
You're booking it? Are you being careful?
Nope. I honestly don't think I would be.
Hey!
The entire place is coming down on us, right?
Roll a d100 for me. You'll set off one of these as you're going.
Papa,
If it's collapsing on us, then
Papa Yahtzee.
yeah.
Am I ahead of him yet?
Not yet.
God damn it.
I got a lead, but you'll probably catch me real soon. 76.
76. You step on one and it goes off, and suddenly you're glowing. A very bright light.
The second coming of Jesus.
Gonna have to kill him.
Alright, but besides that, you keep on with the rocks. You're making ground. It's probably going to take you like another 2 turns at this pace to get out of these tunnels. Henry was probably going to make it to the top on his next turn, though. Then we get to my boy. You guys have no idea what the fuck's going on. Sealiday.
I'm just throwing my face at the ground. I continue with
Are you being careful?
Yes.
Alright.
I will take the movement penalty, but considering I was the one who pointed out the traps to begin with...
Alright, make 2 dex saving throws.
That one is a 17 and a 15.
Roll a d100.
I don't like the sound of that. Fireball! I'm not even fucking kidding. 69.
1.
69.
Very nice.
We got the nice number. We win by default. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The roll.
you're getting very close to Fizzle. You watch as he jumps over one, but he's short and he's difficult to see, and you can like move to the side, and suddenly, Chick, they both vanish. You guys can't see each other. You're still here, but to you, Chick, everyone in this hallway has just vanished to these traps.
I'm gonna look around confused for a minute,
And we get to your turn as well, so...
and I'm just like, fuck that, and I'm going to avoid stepping the 2 places where I saw them step and just...
Alright, can you roll 2 dex saving throws for me?
Yes, I can. Come on, Mama needs some high numbers. I want to see 17s and above, babies. Please. Please.
Reminder for the DM. Troy is still standing on what for us will be the very last trap.
I'm aware. Thank you, though.
What's happening?
That is a 24.
Okay. And
16.
16. Roll a d100 for me, baby.
I
If
do
it's
not
not a
like
69, I'm gonna be disappointed in you.
Well, it is close to my favorite number. It is the meaning of life.
So, what is it?
42.
42.
How can you not know that?
Hey, check your oxen.
Oh my god!
Is it a fireball? Phantasmal killer?
Sealiday, you look behind you, and where there was once a warforged, there's now a potted plant.
Are you fucking with me?
You turn into a potted plant until the start of your next turn. While a plant, you are incapacitated and vulnerable to all damage. If you drop to 0, you revert back to your true form. What would you like to do? With that in mind,
Take my leaves.
we all need to make a dex saving throw. The potted plant fails. roll a d20 anyways, just for the sake of it.
Nat 1. You're a plant.
Dirty 20.
16.
16.
Well, luckily I got plenty of hit points still. 8.
8.
Bonk.
You're gonna take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as another stone falls on you, and you think to yourself, I gotta stop catching these things. Sealiday, you look back in a panic towards this potted plant, and you watch as a stone falls directly beside it.
How big is this potted plant? Is it like a giant fuck off ficus? Is it like a little baby?
No, you know, like those devil tongue plants.
How big is a DM?
You know, it's probably
size?
about 15 pounds. What kind of plant do you think you are? You can weigh up to 15 pounds here. You can't be less, you can't be more. Pot included.
Some sort Like, you know the
Like
you
a
know the plant that
cactus?
we used to have growing up, the devil's tongue? The like it looks like really big blades of grass.
Yeah.
Green with a light limey green trim on it.
Yeah, there you go. So it's a leafy plant.
I'm kind of small for a devil's tongue, but you know.
But we get to Henry's turn. He's nowhere to be seen. Fizzle, it's your turn. You can also see the potted plant that was.
How far away is it from me?
About 20 feet back.
Snake plant. Apparently they're commonly known as snake plant. Weird, okay.
I'll go back and grab it. Since I don't know how long that thing's gonna last.
What's your strength?
Fuck.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. My strength or my bonus?
Your strength.
10?
10? I mean, yeah, it's
You're
easy
stronger
enough.
than me.
You can pick up a plant. It's awkward for you, and because of what they decided to be when you hold it, it kind of like blocks your vision a little bit, so...
You start tripping over rocks.
Well, you pick up this plant and you start going again. All the traps over here have been set off, so there's that going for you. Is that your entire turn, or anything else you want to do to try to...
I don't think it'll help, but fuck it. I'll cast shield on myself. I don't think it'll help, but why
Yeah, I'll
not?
give you 5
Like-
AC if you need it. I'll
And
keep
a
that
one.
in mind. Alright. You guys can now, because it's the next guy's turn, you can hear the sound of something happening outside. Do you get the feeling that Henry made it to the surface? And something's going on. Sealiday, you can now see the plant behind you floating.
Key.
How far down the tunnel are we? Reasonably, are we halfway, quarter way, 3/4?
About 3/4.
Okay.
First of all, still invisible.
Fizzle's closer to half because he had to go back, and, you know, so he's...
And I'm
Well,
slow.
you don't know. The plant is close to halfway. You're close to 3/4.
How...
He's invisible, so is Henry, so are you.
Yeah, I got that. How wide is the hallway?
I don't remember the exact specifications I gave you, but it was big enough for a few people to kind of like pass shoulder to shoulder. I believe it was about 15 or 20. Nah, it wasn't quite that big. It's probably about 10 feet.
That's
if I
fine
had
with
to
me.
try to put myself back in the moment
Okay, well,
without checking my notes.
one more question and I will decide my action.
Yeah, you know, I got
How-
all the time in the world.
How fast are the stones falling? Is it becoming faster and faster, like we're running out of time?
Yes. Exactly
Cool.
that. Your words, not mine.
I can see myself, correct?
No. You cannot.
Well, I only have 2 patches left, so fuck it. I'm gonna reach down for where I think my patch should be, and I'm gonna rip it off and I'm gonna throw it at the ground.
Okay. Roll a d20. You can add your intelligence.
Because I know where it should be. Intelligence is not great. That's a
You're not really-
16.
never mind.
16. It takes a few seconds, but you do manage to find it.
Okay.
And what are
And
you
it is-
throwing at the ground?
I rip off and I toss to the ground a giant sled pulled by 4 muscular goats. It's big enough for 4 people.
Okay. This'll take your action.
Yep. And I'm gonna load myself on it, and I'm gonna call, "Get the plant on it!"
Okay. Chick. At this point, you turn back into yourself. Fizzle, can
I
you
would
roll a
like-
dex saving throw?
I would
Come
like
on, I've been sucking at those tonight.
friendly and try to warn him what's coming.
You just shake your leaves really fast.
Quivering and making my roots jump.
I'm gonna nut!
That'll be a 1.
A 1. You're running. You're holding this plant. You're trying to see over it, and then suddenly, bang! You just slam face first into a metal calf. You're gonna take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you feel your nose just get smashed inwards.
Break your nose.
Chick. You
I
come
am-
to. You don't know what happened. You were just in a dark place. You remember panic. You remember thinking, "Oh the sun! Where is the sun?" And then suddenly you just feel something smack into your calf, and you see.
I'm gonna look down, see him, probably
You don't see him.
clenching his bloodied face.
He's
You
invisible.
don't see him.
Oh,
All you see in this hallway is all these rocks and 4 goats attached to a sled.
I'm gonna reach down and see if I smack anything behind me, trying to figure out like what hit my legs.
One damage.
You'll feel a very bulky backpack, and then you go and then you feel a hand. You feel someone rustling your hair.
I'm gonna grab the backpack
Okay.
and run
Okay.
for the goats.
You're running to the goats. Alright, so you make it to the goats. Fizzle, are you letting them carry you?
Sure.
I think he's
Alright.
clutching his face more than anything.
Suddenly you're flying. I need everyone to make a dex saving throw. Except for you, who's being carried. Your success depends on them.
22.
That depends on me. Don't worry, Boo Boo. I got you.
Probably. Mine.
21.
21. James, I gotta roll for your goats.
They are, and I quote, giant goat sled big enough for 4 people with with wheels. Huge, muscular, trained goats.
Do I make it to? Do I make it to the cart, and can I start driving it? Considering I am proficient with land vehicles, and this is
Well,
a land vehicle.
first we have to deal with the layer action. One of the goats gets smoked, but it's still standing, but it is bleeding, and it is not happy. It's a very, very unsatisfied goat, and it wants to go. But then we get to Chick's turn, and they will make it to the cart before the goats get to go, being as Monk. Oh wait, you've taken your turn to move, then it goes. So you don't get to go. We get to Henry's turn. You'll have to go after that. Because your turn was turning in, grabbing him, running to the goats.
Wouldn't I be close enough to the goats that 40 feet could make it?
Yeah, but you stop to feel around, pick the guy by his backpack, and then move. That's, you know.
Fair enough.
It-
But I'm
it-
gonna load him on and grab onto the cart.
Grabbing an invisible halfling is not something you're trained to do out of reflex. You know what I'm saying?
Proficiency.
There's semantics to this. It's
I'm
not
looking
as
for my
easy
will
as
to
it
live.
looks. So instead we get to Henry's turn. He's doing things. You guys don't know what those things are, but things are happening. Then we get to Fizzle's turn. Fizzle, you're being held. You see these goats.
Lovingly.
Pass.
Pass?
I can't drive this.
Are you
thing.
holding
Yeah.
action or anything like that?
Actually, yes. I'm going to. I'm not going to pass. I'm going to look behind us
Okay.
and see if I can spot that fucker.
You see nothing but fallen rocks
Despair.
and despair.
Okay. Yeah. Get us out of here, please.
Help!
Please.
Alright, then we get to my boy. Things are happening. You guys can't see it. It doesn't matter. Sealiday, you need to make an animal handling check before your turn.
That's 19 on the die.
You managed to stop these goats from going. You're like just holding back on these reins and you're like, calm down, baby. And it is your turn.
Come on, Thrasher.
Chick is going to get to you pretty soon.
I'll kick the goats to start going, so then can just basically use her movement and hop on.
Alright.
And then
It's easy enough. They want to go anyways, so. Then
Angry
we get
goat.
to Chick's turn. Chick.
Mm-hmm.
You make it to the sled. You guys are almost out of here. There's a faint shaft of light coming in from a weird window in this giant stone door.
Okay.
So you guys,
I'm
you
loading up the halfling and I am getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Alright, so you guys make it to the door. Chick, it's going to be pretty much your turn getting these goats here, but you'll still have a little bit of movement if you want to step outside of the doors.
Nah, I'm letting the goats do the work.
Alright, so you're just letting the goats go.
Mhm.
We get to Henry's turn. At this point, you can see out of the door through this window what seems to be a fight between a rabbit folk and a jackal. The rabbit folk is blasting off spells. It doesn't look like he's doing very good though. And the pest guy is pretty much on top of him, just stabbing him, and Henry's tunic or vest is just stained with blood. Fizzle, it's your turn. You guys are no longer invisible, by the way. It wears off at this point.
Far away are they?
They're actually quite a ways. It looks like Henry's been just trying to get back to the machine, and he's been hopping and running this whole time while casting spells. So he's probably about...
No, sorry. How far
45
away is the
feet?
jackal guy?
The jackal guy, like I said, he's pretty much on top. He's managing to keep up with those rabbits somehow. So they're about 40 to 45 feet away from you.
First off, reaction. I need one of you guys to give me your bag. And then I pull out my arcane firearm and blast a ray of frost at Jackal Bastard.
But did you grab your drone as you were going by?
Nope.
Okay, so the drone's still just sitting there. Got
He said.
it. Sad drone.
Really, I can just rebuild it.
F in chat for the drone.
Sorry, Troy. I'll rebuild you.
Goodbye, Troy.
Oh, 19 on the dice. To hit him. Oh, wow. I rolled really well. That is 17 cold damage, and his movement is reduced by 10 feet.
Also, as out of curiosity, Bane lasted for a minute.
Yep.
Did the minute completely pass as we were in the tunnel, or would the Bane have affected his rolls, considering he basically
It's
went...
been affecting him. It's probably
Yes.
the only reason that Henry's still alive right now.
Oh, okay. As
What
long
was
as it
your
did then.
damage that you said? Sorry, I missed it.
17.
17 points of cold
Cold.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you pull out this, it's the arcane firearm, correct?
Yeah.
And you let out this blast, and it strikes him in the back. And he
Just-
seems surprised, and he just kind of like looks back towards you, clocking you guys'
like-
position. We get to his turn. He looks around. And seems conflicted. And he seems like he's almost like out of tricks to play here now that he's out and away from his wasps. So instead, he decides, you know what? I got one thing left to do. And he's going to strike at Henry again.
And a -3 to whatever attack.
Okay. He attacks 3 times.
Mhm.
Really quickly. The first 2 miss, but the last one manages to catch Henry, and you watch this as like this flash around the wound. And as he pulls his sword out, Henry just kind of like, you see his eyes kind of like glaze over. And he falls over. And we get to Sealaday's turn.
When I got stabbed earlier and I saved the poison, did I see a similar flash?
1 second. I do need one thing.
Mhm.
And this is going to be directed to the man that flipped me off.
I didn't flip you off. I flipped off the jackal.
I know, well, it's directed to you nonetheless.
What's up?
He's going to take 15 feet towards you after he, like, stabs him. And now he's about 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
Do you not get a save against this?
I don't know.
Hold on. Doesn't look like you do.
Yes, my girl.
Okay, so it's just necrotic damage. So, his sword is glowing now that he's done something to Henry, and Henry's fallen over. And he just kind of like points the sword towards you, and there's just this little beam of energy that comes off towards it. You're going to take 7 points of necrotic damage.
You.
And now it is Ciolide's turn.
I'm just looking up exactly this spell. Of course I didn't. I didn't take any spells that required bonus actions. They are all actions.
Don't need this. I have bardic
Don't feel bad.
inspiration.
How far away from me? How far away from the door are we? We're pretty much at
You're
it,
outside.
right?
You guys are pretty much at its threshold. You're on top of it. So to keep it simple, we'll just say you guys are like directly at the doorway. You can duck back in if you want. You could move towards the jackal, who's now 30 feet away from you guys.
Is a jackal near any terrain? Like, is there like
No,
a
it's
top
just-
to this little caved area, or is it just like no other rocks?
It's about 10 feet in, so he's about 20 feet from the little.
Otherwise,
cut
it's
out.
like open sky.
Yeah, otherwise it's just out into the desert.
Oh, okay. I always imagined this was kind of like a little sheltered cave area.
Like I said, it's about 10 feet in from this little sheltered cave area. But he's 30 feet away from you guys. It's 10 feet of tunnel, so that puts him 20 feet away from that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, allow me to explain. So you guys are in this little tunnel. It's about 10 feet long. After that, you get to the
fucking with
end
me,
of where the
Philip.
desert is. And there's 20 feet out where it's sand and sky.
Are
you with me? I can
Jane?
explain.
Being a shithead, but
Janky question.
They always are.
A little out of character knowledge, but I need it just because I'm curious.
Do you?
Does his like what he's wearing, does it seem like it would give him is it like leather armor, so it seems it would be like sturdy? Like it would give
Ish.
him
It looks like he's wearing more than leather.
okay, well, sucks to suck. I'm going to rip off my second last patch and I'm just gonna throw it at him.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to get close and then I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna tumble, use my movement speed, as I'm gonna use my free action to call, herd the goats to the hole! I'm gonna tumble up to him, and then I'm gonna rip off my second last patch and I'm gonna throw it at him.
Okay.
isn't this your last patch? I thought.
No, the
I'm
goats
bad
was
at
his
math.
second last. So yeah, this is your last.
I
So
am actually
you're
bad.
getting into 30 feet. Like you're on top of him, yeah?
Yes.
And what patch is
This is actually my second last because I have one more that I was saving that I was trying to jank with him.
Okay. And what's
Um,
this one?
This patch, it is one tailored suit of lingerie that fits the holder completely perfectly, replaces their clothing.
I mean, he'll get a save against this, but we can give it a shot. Well,
I mean, you didn't give me anything to use offensively, so this was my...
I know you come up with these things, but I want to give him a dex save against it.
Bane?
Alright, roll your Bane.
-4.
-4. What's your dex bonus?
My bonus?
Yeah, because you're throwing it at him, right? So I'm making the DC 10 plus your dex.
That would be 13.
13. You throw it at him, and he just barely gets out of the way as this clothes explode, and it goes to like, it almost wraps out, and it grabs the sand, and somehow it forms itself, and there's like just this perfectly clasped bra, and Bandy's half buried in the sand. So he's a dex build.
Okay, then as I'm tumbling, I'm going to throw my last patch. And basically, as I'm tumbling, I just rip it and throw it, rip it and throw it, and I'm gonna summon my giant.
It's an action to use a patch, right?
Is it? I thought it was a bonus. Like you didn't give me the specifics on these.
Ripping an. If you look at the cloak, it's an action to move and use a patch.
Yeah, on the actual item.
Well, it does specify an action attached from the patches. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay, then I'm just going to tumble into him and try and knock him over.
I mean, you've already done your tumble and your moon, so you have a bonus action left.
I cry.
Okay. So
cry.
you come up before him, and you go, aha, and you whip this patch, and as he steps aside, he looks back and he just sees a single tear welling up in the corner of your eye.
Remember, crying is a free action.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So what am I going to do with my bonus action? Cry some more.
Then we get to Chick's turn.
Yes, Chick.
You're holding those reins to this goat cart. You were told, get them to the hole. And you see Seal a Day.
Over.
I mean, you can always push the door open.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time to get these goats through the door, or you can abandon the sled and just...
I'm maneuvering the goats through the door because I want to take this...
Alright, roll an animal handling check for me.
And drive it over him.
Animal handling, please.
Called a
I have
drive-by.
the equivalent of road rage. I have mountain rage. Do I have any bonuses?
Whatever your animal handling bonus is.
Kind of. I've got a 16.
16? You start to get them through. Like, they want out, and they're kind of panicking, and you're more or less, like, just untangling goat from goat and trying to, like, hold his door open, and you're like, come on, you dummy, and another one gets in the way, and another one, like... It's going to pretty much take you... Like, it's going to take about 6 seconds to get them through. There's no other way around it. You have 4 goats on a harness. They're panicking. There's rocks falling behind you. This is going to be your turn, but you will get them through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just so long as you're still there for me to run him over later.
Henry. Fizzle.
It always makes me nervous when you don't tell us what the NPCs did.
Henry lays there. He may or may not be still alive.
Surprise.
Am I close enough to get to Henry?
He's 45 feet away.
Ooh, fuck.
You're on the cart. Oh,
How far away is Cyril a Day?
Huh?
How far away is Cyril a
feet.
Day?
I will also, like, drop my bag of holding for him.
Technically 29 feet away. And pest is 30 feet away, but, you know, that's semantics.
Oh, you did drop your bag?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm snatching up the bag and running straight for, this jackal.
Straight for jackalites, so 30 feet.
I have no clue what you're gonna do with it. Out of character, I think I might have an idea, but in character, no fucking clue. But, you know, I trust you. You helped me fix my limbs.
Before I start running off, Chick, take care of Henry. Grab the bag, run up to Jackal. If Cyril a Day is, like, really close, I look at him and it's like, sorry, buddy. Mission comes first. Bag of holding inside bag of holding.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I didn't expect breaking the physics of the world.
I knew
Bags of holding. How can you not expect this?
I knew that's where you were going with this.
And I'm also completely tapped out of spells and anything decent, so...
You could kick him in the shins.
Can I get all of you within 10 feet to roll a strength saving throw?
Oh, it's a strength saving throw.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dex, please.
I thought it was something else.
It's actually just immediate, but I'd figure I'll give you guys a chance. Usually it just says 10 feet, and then you guys just get shunted to different planes on the astral plane. But I'm going to let it be a strength saving throw.
Yeah, they keep on changing it up in the editions. 14.
14. Sealiday?
I got a 16 minus 1. 15.
Well, my friends, this is
Yahtzee.
usually when I'd say we'll go to break, but we're close to the end, so I won't do that. I am going to play my cool little animation for Be Right Back, though. Because I'm funny. And then we're back. So we're not doing the break.
And we're back.
And we're back.
To do that. You just wanted to play with that
Yeah,
animation.
I took the time to make the animation. I'm playing it, alright? It's happening. Chick.
Yes.
He grabs your bag and he runs forward. And he gets to them and he watches. He has one bag open and he just throws the other one in there. There's a flash of light. You watch this gate open and all three of them get pulled through. And it closes. And suddenly you're alone with a bunch of goats.
Very
Is Henry
goats.
still here?
Yeah, Henry, he was 15 feet away. He's fine. You
Just
think
down.
he's laying in the sand in a pool of blood.
I'm going to run over with the goats to him. Medicine check.
Roll a d20.
Yeah, he's not fine.
I mean, you're a 1 in cleric?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can-
but if I stabilize him with this, then I can use
So what'd you
the
get?
level to actually like heal him. That is a 16.
16.
You know your way around floppy
Stabilize
ears.
him.
Well, we're gonna drop initiative here at this point.
Is he stabilized? Like,
You think you stop the bleeding, you get up there and you quickly just like you rip off a bit of his tunic and you kind of like stuff it in one of the mini holes, and you rip off more and you stuff it in that hole as well, and you watch as the tunic kind of like turns red underneath it, but you think you managed to stop the bleeding and you put your hand on it and you're just holding pressure against
I'm
this
gonna
wound.
cast Heal Wounds.
You realize you're a cleric and you pull the fabric out as you're like casting this spell, and it's a very delicate procedure closing these wounds and pulling this fabric out, but you think he's okay. He might take a couple of hours to come back to. Meanwhile,
Get loading everything onto the thing if it's still
can
here.
I get a d8 from Fizzle and a d8 from Sealiday?
Okay, this is not
Got a 4.
6.
A 4 and a 6. You guys have this blinding flash of light, and suddenly you're just adrift. It's almost peaceful. You see blackness with shades of purple. You see dots of stars everywhere you look. What's your intelligence, Fizzle?
Oh. 18.
What's your intelligence, Sealiday?
11.
11. What's the first thing you guys are thinking of now that you're in this weird starscape? You look around, it's just a void anywhere you look.
My first thought, I hope you know what he's doing.
Ha ha ha! Fuck that guy!
Alright. That's about it. You know, you just here, you're in here, you roll an arcane check if you care.
Actually, I was going to look around and see if I can see the jackal first.
I got a 2 on the dice.
A 2 on the dice. You have no idea where you are or what happened. You think you're in the afterlife. You're like, Mom?
I'm dead.
About an Arcana check of 18.
18. You're aware that you're in the astral plane. This is where mind flayers come from. This is another dimension, a space in between spaces. And that gate you made was a one-way gate.
It's interstitial.
Yeah.
Where's the other leg?
Your
Which-
first thought is, fuck that guy. And then you think to yourself, oh, I fucked up. Oh, I fucked up.
Now I'm looking around, seeing if I can see him.
Roll a perception check.
Oh yeah, I'm great at these. 2 on the dice
2 on the
for a
dice.
total of 3.
Well, sure, and unfortunately, this is probably where we're going to have to end for these two characters. We'll maybe come back, do a wrap-up or something later, figure out what happens with you guys. But I'm just going to focus on Chick for the next little bit here, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about.
One last thing.
I'm gonna use my last 3rd level spell slot to cast Dispel Magic.
Nothing happens.
I'm sad. Well, at
You-
least I
you
can-
cast
I felt
it?
warm.
And you look at your last patch, and whatever magic was in there vanishes. What was your
There was-
last patch?
It was a giant 10 by 10 by 10 door that fits into anything it connects to. And it has a knocker that is a man in a pose like this with giant testicles, and if you bang on the if you use the testicles like a knocker, he screams, and it has a visor.
I'm so glad that's gone. That monstrosity doesn't belong here.
Like
Get it out.
When I cast suggestion on him in the hallway to tell him to clog the hole with his bees and block it, I literally want to just like throw the door up and it was like and just leave him there to fucking rot. But then he was just like, oh, through the floor.
Yeah.
Through the day, I think I fucked up.
You don't even
Sorry.
see each other.
Oh, that black. Okay.
Yeah, it's well. Let me tell you what it says. The gate originates where one item was placed inside the other. Any creature within 10 feet of the gate is sucked through to a random location on the astral plane.
Oh.
Unless you guys got the exact same roll, you have no idea. You're just in the astral plane.
so much worse than I thought.
It just
One more
the
quick
gate
question
then
before you get
closes.
back.
The gate is one way only and can't be reopened. Both objects are destroyed.
If can I see myself, or is it just like black?
You can
everything
see
that's
yourself like it's a beautiful starscape. You can see infinitely in all directions, and when you look up, you just kind of drift that way. And when you think forward, back, whichever way you think of moving, you move that way, and based on your intelligence is how fast you move.
I'm going
But
to.
once you start moving, there's no way to tell you this is up, this is down, this is left, this is right. There's nothing to center you. You're in space and able to breathe.
Okay.
So that's
I
why
will-
I'm like, just gonna leave you here. We'll talk about it later, unless you got something amazing.
2 things. I actually have 2 bags of holding listed on my character sheet.
Cool. You can go to the astral plane a second time to a different random location.
Well, there's always a chance it goes to somewhere else, but I'm
nope,
not smart
it
enough to know.
says you go to the astral plane.
Damn. Okay, then I'm literally just gonna start reaching my bag of holding, tying clothes together, and throwing it. And I'm gonna basically leave a weird long conga line.
You don't have that. Okay, so you're just drifting
I
around
raided-
with a fucking tail of clothing.
Remember that giant 15-foot tall
Crumbs.
fucking wardrobe?
Yeah.
I looted all the clothes into that. That's my normal clothes.
Stuffed full of clothing into a bag of holding. He's got so much clothes.
Yep.
And then I raided the princess's shit. I got fucking clothes for days.
Alright.
I'm just not throwing heels in there.
Yeah,
I'm leaving
you can do that. You start making this weird
Okay.
rope.
in
and-
case I ever run into anyone, they can find me.
It's weird because it just kind of drifts, but as long as you're moving forward, it just goes behind you. But whenever you stop, it just kind of follows this momentum and it just kind of pushes
Boops me.
against your back. It just collects against you when
This
you
is
stop.
my lifeline.
Yeah.
Everything I hold dear in the world.
So Chick, what's
Yo.
your plan? Henry is.
I'm gonna load up Henry. We're in an area with some mountains, right?
There's some cliffs to your side.
how fluffy do I feel like? Like, do I feel like these goats would survive here?
Probably.
Fuck it, goats can eat anything, right? I'm pretty sure they live off of rocks. I've seen them licking rocks a lot.
So you're just letting the goats go?
Pretty sure they're rockabores.
The rockabos.
Yeah,
What's your intelligence?
I mean, they're like, you know. 8.
and I double checked my character's age. I only have 4 years of memories.
Goat.
Alright, so you just let these goats free, and then what's...
I pet each of them lovingly, and I give them weird noises about whatever snuffing sounds they make to me when I say hello. What's your name, sir?
And what's the next plan here?
I load the rabbit up onto the thing. I belt him in. I check the surrounding area for any important items. Then I head home.
You just like, they'll figure it out. Right? Henry...
I'll hang out here until morning.
Henry, by the way, when he comes to, he's gonna just pretty much go with you. He's gonna say, I appreciate everything, but I think I can make my way from here. We're right next to the border. I don't really want to go back with the Freeman.
What were my orders when we left to pick this guy up? Like, where was I supposed to deliver him to?
That's up to you and your ability to take notes.
I do not have that ability, unfortunately.
And then
I was trusting Fizzlewits to control my schedule.
what happened to the other two and Pest?
I do not know. He asked for my bag and he told me to look after you.
Okay.
They were just gone.
Lovely. Okay. Good to know.
I was told to take you back though, so...
No, that's fine. Like I said, I can make my own way from here, and my business is concluded. I've already had payment with your captain. Everything should be good.
Well, you see, unfortunately for that on your part, my companions are now missing.
Unfortunate.
You're the only reason I know why them. You're the only thing that has any clue as to why they might be missing.
How would I know that? I just asked you that.
Well, you said, is Pest gone, implying that you know the Jackal Man. At least in some capacity.
Do you not listen when I talk?
Generally, no.
This was covered, and I don't think you need to worry about it really anymore. At this point, it's quite okay. He's gone now.
Feel like it's quite okay.
So, thank you. I'm just going to go that way, and he gestures towards the north. And you can head on home.
Did I find the rock when he was unconscious?
The rock?
Yeah, the crystal that he had been like, staring at.
It looks like he's, like it was nowhere to be found.
I would have searched his body for it.
You would have?
Yeah, while he was unconscious.
Roll an investigation check.
16.
16. You need to make a wisdom saving throw.
21.
You find a bag of holding, but when you grab it, the only thing that goes to your mind is, open me and crawl inside. Open me and crawl inside. But you manage to take your hand away and you fight off this compulsion. But you get an idea that's probably where
Crawl
it was.
inside.
Fucking weird. Nah, this is outside my pay grade. A bag of holding that tells you to open me and crawl inside. That's a step too far for chick.
Is it a mimic?
In that case, you don't find the crystal.
Nah, fuck it. I am not paid nearly enough for this shit.
Alright, so you don't find the crystal, and again, so he's just like, so yeah, it's unfortunate, but like I said, I believe our business is done, so I'm just gonna cross the border, you can go back. Everything will be fine. Thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you for getting my companions killed.
That wasn't me.
And I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna turn around and leave.
Where's Chick headed?
To the ground shaker.
The ground shaker. Alright. And what's the next stop from here?
I'm gonna go home.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, we did what we set out to do.
You got it. Alright, I mean,
Die.
fair enough. We all split ways. Henry's like, I'm done. These
Willingly,
two,
yes.
straight to the astral plane with them. You get home. There's a couple of odd questions like, where is everyone? What happened? By the way...
It was bleeding. I was trying to fix him, and when I looked up, the rest of them, gone.
By the way, your housing still gets deducted.
Yeah, by the way, you go to your house is gone. Someone else has moved in. It's explained to you that Seal Day kind of fucked with you guys, and they're like, you're alone though, so we can give you a different crew, right? So, like...
Yeah, I'll take on a new crew.
Welcome back. You're greeted. It's not exactly heroic. It's kind of sad, but they're like, fuck it. They were all outsiders. Like, they weren't gonna survive here.
Warned us.
The fact that they lived this long is a miracle. We're glad to have you back. It's basically the kind of energy you get when you get back to the Freeman.
It's kind of like, wow, you're still alive? Impressive. We thought you were dead.
Alright. So for the final wrap up here, for you two, can you guys both roll me a D100? And say high or low before you roll it.
I'm not feeling lucky, so I'm gonna say low.
Oh.
18.
18.
Told you low.
High?
45.
45.
Should have gone low.
Seal Day.
8 mind flyers find you.
Oddly enough, you are gone for a large amount of time as far as you're concerned. How many rations do you have?
As far as I can tell on my character sheet, let me just double check. It said I have 3 weeks. So 3 weeks of rations.
It's enough to survive. You get through quite a bit of food, and then eventually something grabs you by the tail, and you're getting hauled backwards.
Not like this, not like this!
Are you letting go? What are you doing?
This is my lifeline. If something found my tail, that's my only chance I have of getting out of here.
So you're just letting it happen? You get hauled out, and suddenly you're back on the material plane, and Henry's in front of you. And he goes, "It worked! Oh my god, it worked! We managed to find one of you."
just a little beard.
I was hoping you were with the small one. No. Okay, well, welcome to New Ithral. And you look around, and you're in a very nice study. There's like a giant circle in the middle, and it looks like you were just kind of like pulled out of a portal into this place. And that's where Sealer's story will end. Meanwhile, Fizzle, how much food do you have?
Yeah, this mission was only supposed to take like 4, maybe 5 at the most days. So guess what? I also remember that I had deliberately left most of my stuff on the city. I only brought some of my stuff that was all in the bag of holding, which is now scattered across the astral plane.
Unfortunately, you don't do well in the astral plane, and you find yourself
No.
running out of food. And Scylla, did you
And
stick
water.
around New Ithril?
Probably. Over like the 3 weeks or whatever I was there, I didn't talk a lot, so I kind of forgot how to speak.
Well, about a month after you come out, you're informed that they found your companion. And they pull out a halfling who seems to have starved to death in the astral plane.
Oof.
His little body's a little emaciated. He's a lot more pale than you remember, and there's a couple of like little chunks missing from him where it looks like something eventually found him and took a couple of nibbles. And unfortunately, that's the end. That's I did not expect the astral seaplane. I was fully ready for a cool little combat. You guys got through a swarm. He was running out
Hey,
of
we did a
mechanics.
cool combat.
It was going to be a hard combat. You know, he still had some juice in him, and he's able to like twin attacks on people at a range as well.
Ooh.
And if he kills someone like he did, bad things happen. So it would have been good. It would have been close. But to those of you watching, I hope you did enjoy this final episode of the Freeman miniseries. There might be some one-shots coming up. There will be more content on YouTube, and we do have another campaign coming in a couple of months here. So if you do like it, please comment below. Stay tuned for the next one. I will see you guys on
Press up
the...
to chat for the halfling.
Yeah, so I'll see you guys on the next one. F in chat for Fizzle. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.